Inflation, the persistent increase in general price levels, is a complex economic phenomenon that affects individuals, businesses, and entire economies. Understanding the causes of inflation is crucial for policymakers, economists, and consumers alike. This article explores the multifaceted factors that drive rising prices, shedding light on the intricate interplay between supply, demand, and external influences. Demand pull inflation. One of the primary drivers of inflation is demand pull inflation. This occurs when the demand for goods and services exceeds their supply, leading to upward pressure on prices. This can be caused by various factors, such as robust economic growth, increased consumer spending, and expansionary monetary policies. When people have more disposable income and are willing to spend, businesses often respond by raising prices to capitalize on the higher demand. Cost push inflation. Another significant contributor to rising prices is cost push inflation. This type of inflation is triggered by increases in production costs. Factors like rising wages, higher costs of raw materials, and energy price hikes can all lead to businesses passing on their increased expenses to consumers through higher prices. Cost push inflation creates a cycle wherein increased production costs prompt price hikes, further exacerbating inflationary pressures. Monetary policy and money supply. Monetary policy plays a crucial role in shaping inflation. Central banks influence inflation through their control of the money supply and interest rates. When a central bank increases the money supply excessively or maintains low interest rates, it can stimulate spending and borrowing. While this can spur economic growth, it also has the potential to drive up inflation as more money chases the same amount of goods and services. Exchange rates and import prices. Fluctuations in exchange rates can significantly influence a country's inflation rate. A depreciating domestic currency relative to other currencies can make imports more expensive, leading to higher costs for imported goods. This phenomenon is particularly relevant for countries heavily reliant on imports, as they experience an indirect inflationary impact due to their weakened currency's effect on import prices. Inflation expectations. Inflation expectations refer to the anticipations held by individuals, businesses, and financial markets about future price levels. If people expect prices to rise, they may adjust their behavior accordingly, demanding higher wages and increasing spending now to avoid higher costs later. These actions can become self-fulfilling, driving actual inflation higher. Wage price spiral. The wage price spiral is a feedback loop that can intensify inflation. It begins with rising prices, leading workers to demand higher wages to maintain their purchasing power. When businesses grant these wage increases, they often pass the increased labor costs onto consumers through higher prices. This cycle can perpetuate inflation as it continues to reinforce itself. Global commodity prices. Global commodity prices, such as oil and food, have a significant impact on inflation, especially in economies heavily reliant on these commodities. Sudden spikes in oil prices, for instance, can lead to higher transportation costs, affecting various industries and subsequently consumer prices. Food price increases similarly impact inflation, given that food is a fundamental necessity for individuals and a critical input for businesses. Fiscal policy. Government spending and taxation policies, known as fiscal policy, can influence inflation as well. When a government increases spending without corresponding revenue increases, it can boost demand in the economy, potentially leading to inflation. Similarly, tax cuts can put more money in consumers' pockets, encouraging spending and contributing to inflation. Structural factors. Certain structural factors within an economy can also play a role in driving inflation. For instance, an economy with a high level of market concentration and limited competition among firms may give them more pricing power, allowing them to raise prices more easily. Additionally, demographic shifts, such as an aging population, can impact inflation as they affect the supply of labor and the demand for goods and services. In conclusion, inflation arises from a complex interplay of factors, including demand and supply dynamics, monetary policy, cost push pressures, supply chain disruptions, exchange rates, inflation expectations, and more. Understanding these multifaceted drivers is essential for formulating effective policies to manage and mitigate the impact of rising prices on economies and societies. As economies continue to evolve and face various challenges, a comprehensive understanding of the causes of inflation remains a cornerstone of economic analysis and decision-making.